When you watch enough entries into a given genre or medium, you realize that your brain has been trained to think certain ways regarding certain tropes that are presented in the media you watch. X is supposed to do Y so that they can get Z. And in a medium as incestuous as anime, the way things are supposed to play out becomes even more obvious. Perhaps this is why people are so obsessed with labeling every divergent plot element as deconstructive, but that's not what this video is about. One of the more common tropes in anime is the zero to hero archetype, one that is especially prevalent in shonen, but not exclusive to it. Naruto wants to become Hokage, Asta the Wizard King, Midoriya the #1 hero, Akko a famous witch, and so on. You see a very clear end goal that they have in mind, and they generally make relatively quick progress towards that goal. It's a really easy archetype to understand, and in most instances works well in promoting a competitive drive within those who consume these stories. But not everyone is aiming to be the best. Some people just aren't destined for greatness. Some people can barely manage to get by with the talent they have. And this is what I find so fascinating about comic girls. With most anime about artistic or competitive pursuit, it almost always plays out as I used to suck and now I'm amazing. But that's not the case here. In Comic Girls, Chaos can't even get off the fucking starting line until the penultimate episode, and she can barely keep up the pace she needs to maintain even that minute level of success, as all of her friends soar past her with seemingly little struggle at all. And that's what makes her story so compelling and endearing. While seeing someone reach the top is certainly a great story to tell, dialing it all the way back to, I can just barely do this thing I'm really passionate about, is definitely a story worth telling. Yes, she might have a dormant talent for drawing manga lying within her, as suggested by her editor, but because she is so lacking in life experience due to her extreme levels of anxiety and social awkwardness, she doesn't really have any experiences to draw on for her work. Something that I can relate to a rather uncomfortable degree, as I talked about at length in my Yorimoi video earlier this year. In fact, all 4 of the main characters in Comic Girls contain some aspect that I see in myself regarding my work. Unbridled passion for the medium I work in and the ability to dive headfirst into it without looking back, but also my ever-growing lack of confidence in my ability to create a good product. My borderline obsession with those I see as the best and my desire to tell others about how great they are, but also my baseless shame in my own work and my lack of forthrightness when bringing up my ideas in conversation. Even my inability to connect with others because of my borderline psychotic obsession with my medium of choice is represented in this show, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. It's a sensation I haven't felt since I last watched my favorite anime, Your Lie in April, and thought about how all of those characters represented different aspects of my now defunct classical music career. But it's the last part of that sentence that gives me worry. For most of my life, I've never really had much issue with being really good at stuff. School, work, music, I was really good. But I never really felt passionate about any of it enough to really say, this is what I want to do with my life. Several failed career paths later, I finally tried my hand at this whole AniTube nonsense, and it was hard. Just throwing random ideas out there in the hopes that anyone cares what I have to say was incredibly stressful. I would get shit views on a video I really cared about, and then turn around and get a hit on a video I couldn't have given less of a shit about. I knew hardly anything about what I was getting into other than my own thoughts about how my work should feel. A chaos amongst a sea of Tsubasas. Eventually I finally found my footing with my best video to date, only to have my employer turn around and violently rip an entire year's worth of work from me. And even though I might look like I have a plan, I'm basically back at the throw shit at the wall stage and praying that everything will go right again. While I still feel enraptured by Tsubasa's artistic skill and untamed confidence and try to project that onto myself, I'm much more aware than ever that I am not Tsubasa, or even Ruki or Koyume. I'm Chaos again, struggling to get back off the ground after being leveled flat and having all of my hard work taken away from me. I don't have the endless amount of time to put out interesting videos every week like I did a year ago. I'm still in school trying to get a degree that's actually worth something just so I can pay off the worthless degrees I already have. And even if I didn't have that burden, I'm still not at the level where I can compete with all of the Tsubasas around me. As each day goes by and I reluctantly inch closer and closer towards entering what people call the real world, my anxiety about whether I can actually make the same bolt of lightning strike twice grows exponentially larger. So when Chaos's mom asks her, "You'll have to excuse me if I break down into a sobbing mess, because failure hurts. Not getting a strong response to something you poured your heart into hurts. Feeling like I'm not going anywhere hurts. But all the same, I do want to keep doing this. Not just as a hobby or something to do when I have spare time. More than anything I've ever pursued before, this is what I want to do. It is something that dwarfs any other idea inside me, and I can barely think about anything else. Even if it takes me twice as long to get back to where I was before, even if most people don't get what I'm trying to say, and even if I drown in debt and exhaustion before I make it to whatever arbitrary goal I set for myself, this is what I want to do because it's the only method for me to express myself in a way that lets me empathize with other people. And that is what this is all about. It's all about empathy. It's what I've been trying to say this entire month. Empathetic, empathize, empathy, empathize, 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 empathy, empathetic, empathy. That's what's most important. That is what I believe to be the ultimate goal of art criticism as well as art itself. To establish a connection with the audience and make them feel what you're trying to get across. It's almost stupidly simple, but sometimes the simplest things need to be said out loud every once in a while. How a work connects with you is the most important thing about it. Even if it's done in the most roundabout way possible, and even if no one gets it but you, that is what I believe. And I hope that I've been able to convince you of that, and that I've made at least a small connection with you. Thank you all so much for tuning into my first attempt at 12 Days of Anime. This has easily been the most creative I've felt in a very long time, and I'm already itching to get back into writing more scripts. I've got so many ideas buzzing around in my head, even though I'm still really exhausted from doing this. It's like 2 or 3 a.m. right now. I should be done. It's literally Christmas. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in 2019. Special thanks to Jan Rogalski, Rourketon Joing, Christine Seibert, Tim Johnson, Call Me Catlord, Diane Wierzbicki, and all my other patrons for their generous support. My name is Ember, and I'll see you next time. Sasujin no bash, ikite yuku, kuchi de言うの簡単だが現実は厳しい生きがって背伸びしても世界はそれを叩きのめすプライド振りかざし超えたところでお前なんて 誰も見てない窮屈なこの世界お前は魂を売ったひざまずき楽しくもな波を蹴れてお前はその度に何かを殺すすり減って傷ついてそれでもお前は生きてゆくさ銀色の世界に守って銀色の魂胸に秘めて銀色の髪なびかせて銀色の魂心に秘めて